Useless Beauty Part 5. She did not reply, but remained lying back in the carriage, looking like an irritated queen. By that time, they were driving up the Champs-Élysées toward the Arc de Triomphe. That immense monument at the end of the long avenue raised its colossal arch against the red sky, and the sun seemed to be descending on it, showering fiery dust on it from the sky. The stream of carriages, with dashes of sunlight reflected in the silver trappings of the harness and the glass of the lamps, flowed on in a double current toward the town and toward the booth. And the Comte de Mascara continued, "My dear Gabrielle." Here, the woman is described as an irritated queen, like an irritated queen. This is a figure of speech called simile. In a simile, you compare one thing to another thing. Often, there won't be any connection between the things. Let us read two more examples. In the first, we can read, "He is as big as an elephant." What does it mean? Does it mean that he has got a pair of tusks or maybe a tail? Nothing like that. He does not resemble an elephant as such, but from this simile we can understand that he is very big, maybe fat, perhaps obese. Next one is, "She moved like a deer." Everyone knows what a deer is. This is not to be taken literally, but we have to understand that she moved, she walked so gracefully that she resembled a deer. So this is a simile. This is Champs-Élysées, which is a very famous avenue in Paris. This is a modern picture, but Champs-Élysées was very much there in the 19th century too. This is how Champs-Élysées looked like in the 19th century. This is a modern photograph of Arc de Triomphe. It is a very famous monument in Paris, and it honors the people who died in the French Revolution and Napoleonic Wars. So monument is a building erected in the memory of a person or event. Actually, there are so many famous monuments in India. Try to remember a few. Then the next word is colossal. That means big in size. Actually very big in size or huge. Now comes a sentence. The sun seemed to be descending on it, showering fiery dust on it from the sky. This is a very poetic expression. What is happening here? It's evening and the sun was about to set. But it appeared that the sun was getting down onto it and showering fiery dust. Fiery means hot, but here it means red, orange in color, dust on it from the sky. I would say there is sort of a figure of speech here. It evokes a lot of associations. It's a powerful image. Stream of carriages means flow of horse-drawn vehicles like Victoria. Paris was a very busy city, and you can understand how busy it was from the footage. She did not reply. She kept silent. She didn't open her mouth. Instead of responding to her husband, she continued to lie back, recline in the carriage. She looked like an irritated queen. The image of the queen is interesting. As you have already understood, she has got a fine figure. She has got fair complexion. She is intelligent. Altogether, she is regal in appearance, royal in looks. So she is compared to a queen. By that time, they were driving up the Champs-Élysées toward the Arc de Triomphe. Arc de Triomphe is a part of Champs-Élysées, as we have understood. It is a big monument. That immense monument, that very big monument, at the end of the long avenue, raised its colossal arch against the red sky. And what was the effect? It appeared that the sun was showering dust onto it from the sky. The stream of horse-drawn vehicles, with dashes of sunlight reflected in the silver trappings of the harness and the glass of the lamps, flowed in a double current. So there were a lot of vehicles, and since it was evening, specks, lines of sunlight reflected in the silver trappings of the harness. Harness is a device with which a horse is controlled, and these horses had decorative, beautiful harnesses, and sunlights reflected on this harness and on the glass of the lamps of the vehicles. These carriages flowed, moved in a double current up and down toward the town and toward the booth. And the man said, "My dear Gabriel,